welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been watching me since January of 2023, you will know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. And everyone knows that when you have an issue or an illness or you're sick or you have something going on, you don't necessarily, want to talk about it with just any old body, right? But when you want to talk about it with someone who's been through it, someone who knows what you're talking about, and you see they're on the other side of it. So that's what Embracing the Fight is all about. It's not, for us to get in business, look at you, laugh at you, because there's enough of that, going on in the world right now. I start the conversation off talking about my journey through thyroid cancer, and I have an appointment on July 8th. And I'm calling my doctor tomorrow to see if there are any additional blood tests that I need to do so they can determine if there are any more tumor markers that are present. They were almost at a point where they were undetectable, the last time that I went, but I don't know about, this time, but I continue to pray. I continue to trust God and believe that I am healed. Now, with that being said, let's jump into episode 74, Sleeping Beauty. And if you haven't taken a moment yet, please, please, please click subscribe, click like, comment, and share these messages so they can be spread out across the world and we can help heal one life, one soul at a time. All right. So when you think about, Sleeping Beauty, as a child, your parents, would tell you that if you sleep, you're going to look better. Now it has nothing to do, with the Sleeping Beauty, the story, where she ate the poison apple and she fell asleep and all that. No, 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 no. We're talking about, if you get the proper amount of rest, the impact that it actually has on your body. And most people, I'm not saying, our parents were wrong for telling us that, if you go to sleep, you're going to look better or anything like that. But that was something that, children, understood, because if you look tired or if you look haggard in any way, then people automatically knew that you weren't getting enough sleep. But let's look at this a little bit deeper. So we have what you call a circadian, rhythm that is basically the biological clock for our body that responds to light and to darkness. So it's basically the physical, mental, and behavioral changes that an organism that's all, creatures, all creation, that those organisms experience over a 24-hour period. So it's like when the sun rises, the sun sets. There are certain things, that our bodies, go through, and we have to have a response to it. So imagine if you were to stay awake for 24 hours, what would that really do to your body? So sleep is very, very important in maintaining this circadian rhythm. So let's think about sleep in general. Most folks get, they prescribe 8 hours worth of sleep, but most people will tell you, oh, I get, 4 hours of solid sleep, 6 hours, and I feel fine. Some people will get 2 hours and they're good, a 15-minute nap, 30 minutes, whatever. But you have to know that if you aren't doing these things on a schedule, like say for instance, if you go to sleep some days at 8 o'clock, some days you go at 9:30, some days you go at 10, sometimes at 1, a.m., your body's, circadian rhythm is being thrown off. And you'll notice that you might be a little bit more drowsy than normal. You might be a little bit more stressed. You might have, just things that just don't feel right. Like you don't feel like yourself, like your brain is in a fog, like you can't shake whatever this is. It means you're not getting enough rest and your circadian rhythm is off. So on top of having, issues just trying to lie down and sleep, there are sleep disorders that you may have that you don't know, whether you have it or not because you haven't been diagnosed. Now, in order to determine whether or not, you have a sleep disorder, you would need to do a sleep study. And that's where you go in, and I've never had a sleep study done before, but I know people that have, and they basically go in and you are monitored, as you sleep. They hook all these different, electrodes up to you, and they are measuring your oxygen, they're measuring your heartbeat, your blood pressure, they're measuring, everything. And once it's over, they can take the data and determine if you have some type of sleeping disorder. So, for instance, if you are asleep in the middle of the night and you stop breathing, that is referred to as obstructive sleep apnea. And basically, what happens is you don't just stop breathing, your heart literally stops, at that moment as well. That's why a lot of people say, I don't know what happened to them, they died, in their sleep. So that's kind of, what you really need to pay attention to, because of course your sleep, you don't know if you stop breathing in the middle of the night. But if you notice that your circadian rhythm is off and you don't get restful sleep, when you are asleep and you're there by yourself, your room is clean, everything is in order, your life is good, then you need to go and have, a sleep test done, because that test can tell you a lot of things about what happens to you while you sleep. Also, I have restless leg syndrome. I had no idea, what it was when I was a little kid, because I used to think I just rocked myself to sleep. My legs would, go side to side, side to side. And my mom said it sounded like I was tearing down the house because I'd be hitting up against the wall, at night. You can hear it all over the house. And, it was funny to me because a few years later, a friend of mine in Birmingham, I won't, say who she is, but she came to me because she was marrying this guy, and the guy's son, was doing it. And she was like, I don't know what it is. Is it like, a possession of some sort? I was like, girl, no, it ain't no possession. I said, I used to do that. And then she was like, oh, well, he'll be all right because you're smart and you're pretty normal. So, and I was like, well, I don't know about that. But it's called restless leg syndrome. So it's not where you're sitting, people think that restless legs are where you're sitting here like just watching TV or something and your legs are, shaking up and down like that. No, it's as you're laying down, it's like your body is trying to get a rhythm to calm yourself enough, to sleep. Now, why I had that as a child, I don't know, because, I didn't have any bills, I didn't have any stress, I didn't have any craziness, going on in my life, unless, I was getting to a point where I thought I was going to have something. I started to think of creative ways, to make money, but I was a little kid, so I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but, you can have that as well. So then another sleep disorder that you can have is narcolepsy. So imagine, we're having a full conversation and we're both fully engaged, and I just fall asleep right in front of your face. That's narcolepsy. That, is uncontrolled sleep disorder that just happens. You could be driving alone and just fall asleep. Some people that have narcolepsy don't realize that they have it because they still think that they are, present and they're there. And if no one ever says to them, hey man, you falling asleep, they're thinking that, they're still there because they can still hear you. They still are, present in their mind in a sense, but they're physically, asleep to us. So you're looking at that and you're wondering, what's really going on. All right. So then some other things that indicate that you have a sleep disorder: snoring. Snoring also kind of leads into sleep apnea. And a lot of people that snore because they're overweight, extremely tired, or there's some form of obstruction that's not causing them to breathe freely. So you won't get restful sleep, 9 times out of 10 if you're snoring, and neither is your partner, because they're going to be listening to you calling hogs all night. So there are some things that you can do, to help straighten out this circadian rhythm and work on some of these sleep disorders. There are many more sleep disorders, but I just wanted to look at those few because what we want to try to do is heal, from this point. A lot of people don't understand that if you don't get enough sleep, you will be stressed. And when you're stressed, that impacts your body in other ways. So you can have high blood pressure, you can get, anxiety. There's all these things that happen when you don't get enough sleep. If you notice that a person is sleeping, sometimes they're kind of snappy. they'll, just go off on the deep end. It's like, what's really going on? What's wrong? And nothing could be wrong in their world except they didn't get enough sleep because, people downstairs had a wild party or there was like fireworks or something, going on because, the 4th of July is coming and everybody is not off for the 4th of July. So the people that aren't off and they're hearing all this, they're not getting, enough sleep. And if they're not getting enough sleep, their circadian rhythm is off. So why is this dangerous? So if your circadian rhythm is off, you can experience, drowsiness. So drowsy driving is especially dangerous because have you ever been driving and you look up, you see a sign, the sign says, your exit is in 10 miles, but then the next time you blink, you almost miss your exit. So those whole 10 miles, you were drowsy driving because you just like mentally went away because your circadian rhythm is off and you hadn't had enough sleep. Now, the difference between being sleepy and drowsy, a drowsy person is less likely, to just fall asleep when they get into bed because your mind is still racing. You have some form of anxiety. You're thinking. It's like so many things are just running around in your head. But when you sleep and your head hit that pillow, you go to sleep. The only thing that's not allowing you to fall asleep is either A, you're trying to force yourself to stay awake to get to where you're going, or say you're in a class and you're trying to force yourself to stay awake so the professor, doesn't call you out or the teacher doesn't call you out, or you're in church and you sitting on the front pew and you don't want to fall asleep, that sort of thing. Those things will help keep you awake. But as soon as you get to a place where you can actually go to sleep, sleep lets you sleep. But drowsiness does not let you sleep. It's frustrating, when you become drowsy. It makes you feel like you had an out-of-body experience. And, there's nothing that you can really, do about it because it just comes and goes. But drowsiness occurs because your circadian rhythm is off. All right. So it's dangerous, especially like I said, if you're driving, or say, depending on the type of work you do, like if you're in construction or in something that, is considered to be dangerous, like if you're dealing with explosives or if you're doing ore rig drilling, or say you're out, deep sea fishing, you're doing all these different things and your circadian rhythm is off, your body, the way you respond to things, whether you respond fast or slow, all depends on how your body is actually performing at the moment based off of your circadian rhythm. So if it's off and you're off, you can get hurt. So you want to make sure you do all you can to get your circadian rhythm in order. So how do you do that? I know you sitting here going, you talking about you need to sleep, you need to do this. Put yourself on a schedule. So what you need to do is, if you can, eat your meals around the same time every day. Now it could be 30 minutes, to an hour different, but you want to keep it like in the same area. So your body is expecting to get this food. It's expecting to expend this, energy, out of your body. It's expecting to, use it. It's not going to be like, okay, I'm going to eat at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the next time I'm eating at 2 o'clock in the day, but then I'm eating at 10 o'clock at night. And then 10 o'clock at night, all this food is sitting there and it's like, where am I supposed to go? So your body is still trying to burn, this energy. So you can't sleep as well if you eat so much at night. And if you're staying up later, that is throwing your circadian rhythm off. So make sure you put yourself on a schedule when it comes to eating, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to working, or when it comes to any particular activity that you're trying to do. Like, say for instance, if like me, I play tennis. If I play tennis in the morning, in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, that means my body is expecting some form of activity where I'm burning energy. Now, I can't be running around at work, like I'm playing tennis, but I can get up, I can move, I can, walk around to make my body know that, okay, I got to expend, this energy. I have to move because my body is used to me doing those things. Now, if you want to make sure that you are sleeping the same time. Now, I'm not a high proponent of, taking medication and things like that, but if you take some melatonin or some valerian root, those things can help you naturally, fall asleep. Some other things that you can do, I don't know, what it is about white noise, like if it's raining or if you hear a fan or if you hear like the sounds of the forest, those things help to line out your circadian rhythm because it's calming, it's soothing, and it helps you to fall asleep. So what I need you to do is take a moment to analyze yourself. Are you feeling jittery? Are you feeling excessively tired? Are you not yourself? Are you experiencing brain fog? Are you realizing that, you've driven long distances and you hadn't seen anything in between? And it's not that you have something on your mind. It's just a matter of, oh goodness, I'm drowsy and I didn't realize it. So really study yourself. And then if you have a significant other or someone with you at home, have them, to just kind of be around you and pay more attention to you when you sleep to see if you need to have some sleep test done, because that could save your life. Because with sleep apnea, you could be given a CPAP machine to make sure that you're getting the right amount of oxygen evenly flowing, into your body as you sleep, and it helps to keep your airways open. And then there's medication that you can take for narcolepsy and the restless leg syndrome. Like I said, I'm not sure, what you can take to get rid of. I just know I grew out of it. Now, sometimes, honestly, if I have a very stressful day or something's not going on, the way I think it should in my life, I'll notice that my legs are shaking. Like when I'm in the bed, I'm like, what is this? What? Where is this coming from? So I'm saying that if you notice that you have these sleep disorders and you have these things going on, you need to have it checked out, because if you don't, it can snowball into something much more serious that could have been taken care of when you first found it. So let's be diligent, about our sleep and making sure that we even out or normalize our circadian rhythms. So this will help you be pleasant. It'll help you be more productive, and it'll help reduce stress. And you know what happens when you reduce your stress? You lose weight, you look better, you feel better, and you sleep better. So I want you to be not only a sleeping beauty, but I want you to be healthy as you sleep. Thank you so much for taking your time out of this busy day that you have to watch Embracing the Fight. I greatly appreciate it. And please don't forget to spread this message and invite others to embrace the fight with us. Have an absolutely amazing day.